Here we are back for episode 2, Banner Saga, here with the Piercy Bros. And chapter 2, very interesting story. Here we are meeting Rook and Alette for the first time. So this will be interesting. And before we begin, I want to start with a scripture. And this is out of Psalms chapter 34, verse 19. It says, "Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivereth him out of all them all." And to me, I guess that scripture just means that while life can be difficult and we're challenged, yes, and we go through this world, we walk through it, but that doesn't mean God's not there by our side. He's always there by our side, helping us overcome these challenges that we face. Yeah, and I guess that's our scripture of the day. Let's get into this combat. So Rook, it has a special ability. He can both attack in melee with his axe or with a bow for range. No other character in the game can do that. So that makes him pretty strong. Alette also is very strong. She has some special abilities. I guess we'll see him. And as you can see, she's an archer. She cannot shoot when up against somebody. So she'll have to run away, turn around, and shoot the guy. A lot of this game's combat revolves around upgrading the characters, and to upgrade the characters, you have to get a certain amount of kills. And so I believe I'll probably end up playing as Alette throughout this playthrough, and so I'm gonna feed the kills to her and not Rook. It was. Let me see. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. I'll be fine. When the dredge attacked you, your cart and the ox bolted, spilled most of your supplies. You can see more dark figures moving through the trees when you glance that direction. All that food, that's all. That's the last we're going to get before winter. What do we do? Okay, so I already know from playing this game what some of the best options are, and this middle one. Alette calms the yaks while you frantically toss supplies back into the cart. More dredge emerge, but you manage to get to the cart. You get to the cart. You get it moving before they can close in. Nice. So we got some extra supplies out of that, which will help us because we need supplies to keep our people alive. Otherwise, they'll leave us. Alrighty, and here we are.
I never expected to see the dredge with my own eyes. What happened in the north? Already we see more between the trees as we approach our home, and Alette grips my hand tight. We must find Ivor.
Apologies for the interruption. The enormous Varl in question towers over men in the training field. He squints as you approach. Already back, Hunts Master. Thought you'd be tomorrow. But there's Dredge, right? Fighters nearby have stopped sparring. They gather around you. They'll be here soon, if they're not already. And you hear screams. Oh boy, they're here. So luckily we have these two to fight alongside us. Egil and Ivor. They'll be coming along with us. And they want to help. I always let them help. They need to learn. More shouts draw your attention. So it begins. So these are little, I don't remember what they're called. Little items that your characters can wear. And this, since this is Alette's bracelet, well, it's more fitting to put it on her, I suppose. So I didn't realize that the screen was recording improperly, but hopefully now it's better. Now you can see the full battle screen. I quite like the artwork in this game. It's so... it's not fancy, but at the same time, it's very pretty. Very pretty artwork. Well played by the designers. One of Rook's special abilities is he can move through people. So I think I'm going to plant him here as a protection for Alette, because I don't want her to go down. So this should prevent this big guy from walking all the way around. It's kind of important to keep people on the field, because these guys, since they have such low strength, they're unable to really damage my soldiers. Instead, they're just kind of stuck battling down our armor, which is fine for now. It would become a problem eventually, but I think I'll get to them before they get to me. Alette's special is very nice. It's called Thread the Needle, and it will crack all three of these guys. Well, these two. her passive becomes very powerful. Essentially, if she stands still, she gains +1 strength to her attacks, which does become very powerful later down the line when she becomes upgraded. So hopefully we get to see that. Combat can be unforgiving. It can. I have died many a times playing this game. A black horde is forming in the tree line. Enough of this, says Ivor, glancing over his shoulder. We're going back. Then adds Rook. I'm doing one more check of the houses around here, see if I can find anything. We can go ahead and go out. As you turn to head back, a colossus appears around the side of a house. It silently looms over Alette, its face an expressionless, stony mask, more terrifying than any roar it may have produced. Time seems to slow as it pulls back its enormous mace. You gotta shoot it. As though second nature, you knock an arrow. Alette is standing directly between you and the dredge, making the shot perilous at best if you're off by a few inches. Oh, you just gotta shoot it. It bounces off the face of the dredge, inches away. Pickle rushes up to her side. Ivor throws himself between them, catching the mace, returns the favor, and then... So I already knew that sequence. In fact, there's an achievement for one of the characters, Egil, the boy with the stone shield that we are playing with. Now he... Well, let's hold on. I'll continue in a second. So as I was saying, Egil, there's an achievement for keeping him alive the entire game because he has some absurd, like 12 kill events, and that was one of them that we just passed. So there's a lot of opportunities for him to leave the party or die in some weird way, and there's an achievement at the end of this game for keeping him alive. And in fact, if you do and you proceed to play the second game, he has special dialogue options because of it, for keeping him alive. Unfortunately, I don't necessarily remember all of them, so I guess we'll just find out if our friend will survive or not. If you sent them inside, gods, this is bad. I'm out of practice, Rook. So yeah, that's also interesting because Ivor is a Varl. I think it's a Varl, and the Varl have fought the dredge for centuries. In fact, this guy, Ivor, is like 700 years old. You've always wormed your way out of talking to the dredge. This would be the time to start talking. I can tell you they rarely stop for rest. The sooner we leave, the better. They'll follow us until we're tripping over our tired people. Then they'll attack. Blah, blah, blah. Slag is like the derogatory term for the dredge, and well, dredge itself seems derogatory enough, but they're just mindless stone creatures, so you know, what's the harm? Okay, so we gotta get our whole village to safety, and that's gonna be a challenge. We got quite a lot of people here, so I guess we'll find out. Great Hall is an utter din, filled as it is with dozens of terrified families. Don't stop worrying yet. I haven't. What in the depths is going on? Dredge milling around, ransacking houses. And here comes his wife. They must know we're here. Why haven't they attacked? I don't know, says Ivor. I wouldn't expect it to last. Not so easily done. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna trust Ivor. He's been around much longer than any of us, so he's really smart guy. So it looks like we're on the march west. Alright. Distraction. Okay. Sounds like suicide. Right? I guess that would work. I don't think the dredge like fire. Or I could help with the distraction. We'll set the town on fire. Okay. I guess I'll help for that. What if we're not gonna burn down the whole village? I guess I'd like to do one more battle. Oh, and we're gonna get her Oddleaf. She's gonna join us. I want Gil with us as Ivor. Something happens to us, I need him to tell the chieftain. Ivor goes off to find him. Alette finds you. I know what you're doing. You have to let me come, she says. Don't leave me, please, I'll be good. Okay, just promise to listen, girl. Just trying to get their attention. Alrighty. And so it begins. Just put the thing on him. Oh, I don't. Wait. I can't because he's not high enough level. That's right. He has to be level 4 to use this. Well, that's a shame. I guess we can just promote. Or not, because we don't have any renown. So we'll battle. And I think I'll reorder. There. I've never quite figured out what the proper battle strategy ought to be in these combats. I know that you just want to kind of whittle them down. So I guess I'm gonna just do my best to do that. We'll see how it turns out. I guess we'll use her special. Her special sets a trap on that square, so any guy that passes through that square will absolutely get stunned. And damaged as well, which is always good. Nice. The AI has a tendency to target your archers. I'm not sure why. I guess it's because the AI thinks they're weaker, therefore an easier target. Because they obviously have lower health, but that doesn't necessarily make them weaker. Oh, I didn't use that correctly. Oh well. And his special, Rook's special, is pretty strong. So it'll cause break, and then everyone in range shoot the guy. Nice. Gil becomes extremely powerful, so I'll try to feed him some kills as well. You have no problem with getting the dredge to follow you. Things begin to look dicey, but you're eventually able to lose him in thick woods, where they have difficulty keeping up. You climb to an overlook and wait for the caravan. An hour later, Oddleaf is the first to spot them, and here's our people. Group is gathered near the rear of the caravan. Oddleaf walks beside a covered figure in the open wagon. Chieftain's death hits you like a blow in the gut. Also, her husband died. Wow, that's all she has to say. Old fool. So are people too far away? We gotta keep them together. Sure, let's try a speech. Why not? Fight for every step. Remember those who didn't make it and push onwards. You see your effort and follow suit, pushing themselves harder. Oh, a morale boost. Oh, and renown. Nice. And all throughout the game, we'll come across these. These are god stones too. Well, all the gods in this game are dead, but their stones remain. These are like their shrines in a way, I guess. Far enough for today. After a day of misery, men and women drop their meager possessions beneath the god stone of Gridvaldir. Gridvaldir? What are we doing? We just left our homes because suddenly there were dredge. Chieftain did what I suggested, and look what he got for it. Look at these people. Somebody has to hold them together. And that's, I guess, what Rook is for. But you're the dredge killer, Varl. Yeah. What about Oddleaf? It's easier for you. Yeah, it probably would be easier to not pick up the mantle. She was the chieftain's wife, after all. Isn't that so true? Furious when we're not in control, but terrified when we are. It's like being in a car with a crazy person. When they're driving, you're terrified for your life, but when you're driving, you're terrified they're gonna do something to you and wreck the car. I'm worried about my daughter. Yes. Worse than any dredge. Wow. Thanks, Ivor. Thanks. Humans are a worse plague than dredge. You sleep poorly, the sun forever stuck to an eternally bright sky. Before the others rise, you find yourself staring over long, low hills covered in pine. Interesting. Let's inspect this stone. See what happens. When hunters come through, they sometimes stop to give offerings out of habit more than anything else now that the gods are dead. Ridvaldir was the god of hunters and of wild beasts, occasionally seen roaming the land as both man and wolf. It was always depicted in effigy, but with his terrible spear. You wonder what he'd think about his woods being full of dredge now. A young girl hands me a necklace carved from a branch she must have found nearby. Thank you for saving my mama. And yeah, so every time we come across one of these stones is an opportunity to gain a new item. But it requires specific choices. This game is focused heavily on choices. And I'm sure I'll miss some of them because I don't remember. Caravan halts when a group of men appear on the trail, weapons at their feet. You've seen the dredge in your wake, says one. We don't wish to meet them alone. If you'll let us join you, we'll show you a watering hole and enough animals to fill those supply wagons. What are you guys doing out here? We're hunting here for food when the dredge found our village. I guess we'll allow them in. Hidden watering holes nearby. Nice. So some fighters, some food. Well, needed food. Only have 8 days left. So we have an unruly clansman. I guess we'll just tie him up till he's sober. The caravan is visibly relieved to find a small village on the way to Frostveller with beds and fresh supplies. The locals here are shocked by the news you bring and discuss it amongst themselves while you set up nearby. Let's talk to our boy. How's the arm? I saw you taking some hard hits out there. Oh yeah, I'm great. Not great considering everything. I'm fine. My arm's fine. It's a strong shield. It's Rook, right? I know we haven't talked much before now, but if you want, just call me Gil. Okay, Gil. We'll call you Gil. I wanted to let you know what I meant. That I meant what I said before about making sure nothing happens to Alette. Hey, that's my daughter. I protect her. Protective of her. Well, I just don't want her to get hurt. Because you like her, don't you? Never seen a shield like that. Yeah, there's many. My father made it. It's solid metal. Oh, I said it was stone. It's solid metal. I've been practicing with it since I was a kid. I used to spend a lot of time getting used to lifting it. It must be pretty heavy. I've lifted weights and the giant 45 pounders. That's pretty heavy. I imagine that this weighs about the same, maybe a little bit less. I mean, if it's solid metal. It's the only thing it's the only thing of my father's I have left. Then when my mother died, she gave it to me before she died. Did he say that? Yeah. Okay. So I guess we could just buy a load of food. I don't want to buy too much though. We gotta upgrade our heroes a little bit. We'll rest one day. Resting improves the morale. Too bad it didn't go up anymore. But I think before we leave, the chieftain wants to talk. They don't wanna... Yeah. You're only just outside the village when two men in red approach. My name is Hogan, says one, gesturing to the other. My brother is Wogan. Or at least I think that's how you pronounce it. Many from the village wish to join you to Frostfeller. A third man, exuding rage, charges up to the group. Shut your mouth, Hogan, he screams. What's going on? They've been trying to divide the village since you got here, true. You can keep whoever you want, stay and die. Yeah, because the Dredge are coming, the rest of us will go these reasonable people. I'll have you both gutted. You both know what will happen to the rest of us if the fields are abandoned. Nobody leaves. Yeah, there won't be anything to tend once the Dredge arrive. Yeah. I don't know what the scam is this time, Hogan, but you got two choices. Get back to work, or I'm finally putting you in the ground. Well, I guess we're gonna have to fight. Oh. Whatever, let's make this. Yeah, they just want to join us. They just want to leave. They know the Dredge are coming. I guess that's why you don't group up so close. So, do stuff like that. Nice. That's too bad we lost a warrior. Although they're not dead. Oddleaf's not dead. She's just injured. She just went down. Which is good. So we'll be able to use her soon enough. Brothers thank you with wide grins. Soon many of the villagers have joined your caravan. You scan around anxiously for Alette, who has gone missing when the fighting began. Eventually you find her, watching from afar. Hogan returns at that moment, introducing you to his son and wife, and you soon set out again. Alette marches quietly alongside the caravan, a little distant since leaving the village. When you stop for a rest, Oddleaf approaches you both. Alette, I have something for you. She gathers up the long banner, smiles warmly as she passes it to Alette. What's this? Was hoping you'd sew up the banner with everything that has happened since we left Skolgar. Come find me another time, Rook, and we'll talk. You are the chieftain now. I guess it looks that way. Both quiet. Oddleaf has been teaching me how to sew. She speaks pretty highly of you. Can we read the part about Mom? On the banner has been sewn the story of the families who have lived in Skogr throughout the years, just as is done on every banner in every town. I wish she were here, but I'm kind of glad she isn't. Yeah, this world's getting kind of bad now, isn't it? Yep. Dredge, homes, being abandoned, killing men. It would have killed others. Dredge are terrifying, right? She doesn't want to kill people. No, that's okay. You shouldn't want to kill people. I don't want to kill anybody. Neither should you. Shouldn't want to kill anybody, ever. I'm not too interested in a conversation right now. I guess just kind of skip through this. We're back after training. At a small split in the trail, a few fighters stopped to speak with you, each carrying a single pack. We recognize this place, one man says. It's been several years here with some kin. If they're still around, we have to warn them of what's coming. With luck, we'll find you again in less than a week. Bring him back, I guess. Send him off with some supplies. Hopefully they come back soon. Complaints of our drunkards' drinking habits have resurfaced. This time, the man stumbled over some tent ropes, pulled the snagged canvas through a campfire, nearly setting a supply wagon aflame. Clansmen put out the fire on both the wagon and the guy's leg before leading him to you. I guess we could just beat him up or what? I don't know. Only drinks water. Okay. Dread shouts a man. Ah, but it's our guy again. Our drunkard. Okay. Screams again, pointing to trees. Fear races through the caravan as fighters pull weapons. Scouts return with no sightings. Various men surround him. I guess they can just beat him up. Then he's never gonna drink again. That's why you shouldn't drink.
Once a strong, thriving city, the walls of Frostweather now just keep the howling winds at bay. With luck, they'll hold out against dredge as well.
You jostle through fallow crowds and sunken faces who appear as though they've been freezing in front of Frostviller for days. The gates are closed. You come to a stop at the bottom of the hill. This is not looking good. Why are there so many people in the fields? Can't stay out in the open. I agree. Nobody's being let in. It's overrun with Varl from basically everywhere. The chieftain locked himself in the Great Hall. Cool. Where else can we go? Yeah, let's see what's going on in there. We could find out what's going on. The gate's closed. Yes, he could open the gate, but I don't think that's a good idea. You approach the gate, where hundreds of people have gathered. In the trodden, bloody space in front of the door, several pin-cushioned bodies lie unclaimed, so they simply belonged there. Archers up on the wall make it clear that nobody will be getting in. Men and women below intermittently call for mercy and reason, but they're not flinging stones and curses. What does the crowd have to say? You spend an hour talking to different people who all have the same story. A couple of days ago, the chieftain shut himself in, closed the gate, and refused any more refugees. Just hoarding all the food. It was falling outside the walls, he said, and there's a water passage we could squeeze through. Not the whole caravan, but a handful of us could get in. We might open the gate from the inside. I'm not fitting through there. And when you arrive at the narrow ducts, go without me. Looks like it'll get on top of the walls and then down to the gate where you can open it. Nah, I don't know. Leave the crowds and head back down the hill. There are a lot of people gathered around the rest houses. Maybe we can find help there. Everyone gives you the same story. The chieftain shut the gate. Let's just bust it down. Let's just push it down. Let's give it a shot. More curious than anything, Ivor plants his feet, puts his shoulder against the massive door. Aside from a long wooden creak, nothing happens. Then, unbelievably, the doors start trembling. The archers shout, more of those inside the walls than out. The creaking becomes louder, then a crack, then the door parts slightly. Nice. Just hire a Varl. Why do you need a battering ram or a catapult? Just hire a Varl to crack open the door for you. Wow, I went right around it. What is that? It's just so... You're so strong. Like, so much willpower. Look at that. I can't even... Oh, and I think it's gonna hit our... yeah, it did. Well, I mean, 1 damage isn't terrible, I guess. Nice. Okay, moving on. Guards who aren't lying at your feet run. A crowd of men and women scurry into the city while they have the chance, but it's only moments before a man wearing all black approaches, with many more axemen at his back. We're letting ourselves in, dude. What are you talking about? Yeah, what are you talking about, dude? I knew there were fighters and a Varl outside. I would have brought you in. Heard about the chieftain. We heard he's hiding in the Great Hall. Or more danger inside. It appears so. So it's like a war inside the camp for who's in control of the food and everything. I don't know. I don't really want to... Nah. We're not staying here. Now we're out. Get out. Okay, yeah, we're leaving. We're leaving. And I guess now that chapter 3 is starting, we'll end that here. It's been a pleasure playing as Rook. We'll be moving back now to our Varl friends. Playing as Hakon. And we'll see you in the next episode.